Mission San Luis Obispo de Tolosa is celebrating its 250th anniversary, and it continues to operate as a parish while educating visitors about its chapter in California's past. KSBY's Claudia Bucio joins us live with an in-depth look at the mission's legacy and complicated history. Claudia?
Good afternoon, Nina. We're live outside of the mission at San Luis Obispo. Now, this is an iconic building in the heart of this city. Now, behind these adobe walls, there's art, there's culture, there's history with deep ties to church leaders, conquerors, and Native Americans. 250 years later, the San Luis Obispo's mission still stands.
We really started with the mission era. It's the beginning of California.
A mission is a verb before it's a noun. Mission is what we do.
It's a really dark part of our history and the history of California, but also it's a reflection of where we are.
In order to understand its complicated past, we have to go back in time to see why the Spanish established the mission system.
Missions in California are being established in the late 18th century, and so you had about 200 years of, Spanish, contact, conquest, and colonization, and the mission system would be, the sort of the backbone of the last part of this colonization and settlement.
Russia was coming down the northern coast, settling with fur trapping and seal hunting and whales and oils. And the King of Spain got word of that Russia was coming down, and said, we need to get some people up there in Alta California.
A so-called sacred expedition began along the coast of California,
which would come from Mexico City and establish 21 missions.
Missions were accompanied by the Presidio, and the Presidio would house a garrison of soldiers, sort of defensive.
The incursions devastated indigenous communities not only because of widespread diseases.
The women, the children, and the men were forced to work. Women were sold into arranged marriages and for prostitution for soldiers, and a lot of people don't realize how many of our relatives are buried there around the mission.
The first mission was founded in San Diego in 1769 by Saint Father Junipero Serra. Although the San Luis Obispo mission was not originally planned for, it was established out of necessity in 1772 thanks to grizzly bears.
They came back, started hunting the bears to provide meat, beef jerky for the other missions,
becoming the fifth mission in California. Over the next 100 years, there would be wars, fires, and even earthquakes that caused the all-important bell tower to be taken down in 1878. It was rebuilt twice.
The bells would tell them what time it was, when it was time for Mass, when it was time to eat. Those original bells could be heard for 16 miles.
Nowadays, they still utilize bell ringers.
There are 19 bell ringers who pull on the ropes and play the bells.
The church, made of adobe blocks, has gone through renovations, many thanks to a grant from William Randolph Hearst.
We've added a whole second wing that runs off at 90 degrees and probably doubled our seating. But the principal work we've done recently is structural. We had to do earthquake safety retrofit.
Take a close look at the ceiling.
Those beams are exactly as they were at the very beginning. And behind them, the stars are painted on the ceiling. Those are original. Those were painted by the Chumash because their belief system was that you accessed the gods and your ancestors through the heavens.
A combination of Native American and Spanish art is present in missions across California.
The merging, of different cultures at the different times in history, And it's accommodation, there's tension.
While there's much healing yet to be done,
this is the first time in California's history where the governor of California actually apologized to the indigenous people for the past atrocities that happened here.
Moving forward, leaders of the mission of San Luis Obispo say they remain committed to keep their doors open to the community.
Our desire is always to reach out and to be inclusive and to minister to the people that are here.
Now, the mission was founded in September 1772. We are still a couple months away from September, but because of this huge milestone, the mission will be having a series of events throughout the year. Live in San Luis Obispo, Claudia Bucio, KSBY News.
Great piece to learn about local history there. Claudia, thank you.